In order to start your ethical hacking career, having knowledge about networking is extremely essential. In that, if you don't know some of the basics about networking, then you will find it extremely difficult to understand some of the hacking attacks that actually take place in this entire world. You will also find it difficult to use some of the hacking tools such as Wireshark, etc., which aren't actually hacking tools but are basically used in the hacking world as well to analyze some of the data packets moving around in a certain network. So in order to understand all these things, in order to understand how an exploit works within a LAN network, as well as why do we need to do some configurations in order for that exploit to work outside the LAN network, you need to have some knowledge about networking, at least the basics. So let's start this video, and today we will be discussing some of the networking basics about DHCP, hubs, switches and routers. So let's start. Now if you haven't subscribed yet, then please hit the red subscribe button and also hit the bell notification icon so that you remain notified each time we upload a video. So let's start off our discussion with DHCP, which is known as Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. Now before I start any discussion or any further discussion, I want to make it clear that whenever you hear me saying network, or if you take any professional networking course such as CCNA or Comptia Comptia Network Plus, if you hear the instructor speaking or telling network, or if you hear me in this video as well saying network, whenever I say the term network or whenever any instructor tells the term network, just think that he or she is referring to a LAN network in most of the cases. In most of the cases, at least around 90 to 95% of the cases, he or she will be referring to a LAN network. Alright? Now, it is not possible every time to say LAN network, LAN network, LAN network, because it will sound unprofessional, it will not sound professional. So that's why they prefer to use the term network, so as to simplify the explanation as well as make things more professional. Alright? So let's start off with DHCP. So this is basically the first thing that works whenever you try to connect your device to a certain network. Like for example, if I take an example of a Wi-Fi network, whenever you try to connect to a Wi-Fi network, you must have seen this message, obtaining IP address. Now in this place the DHCP works. Basically what happens is, whenever you connect any device, be it any mobile device or any sort of laptop or computer, whenever you connect it to a certain LAN network or any network, that device needs to have an identity within that LAN network. So whenever that device needs to have a certain identity within that network, it needs to have a certain IP address. That IP address within a LAN network is known as local IP, and it will generally be of the format 192.168.184.139, something like that, or maybe 192.168.1.1, something like that. So basically, whenever you connect to a LAN network, whenever you connect a certain device to a LAN network, that device needs to have a certain identity which is in the form of an IP address, and that IP address is provided using this DHCP server. So the full form of DHCP server is Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, and its main duty is to assign IP addresses to devices that connect to a certain network. Now before, I think 2007 or 8, there was nothing known as DHCP, and at that time what used to happen is, people had to manually assign IP addresses to all the devices that are connected to a certain network. Like for example, the network administrator had to assign IP addresses, I mean the local IP addresses, to each and every devices that are connected to a certain Wi-Fi network in a certain office. Now just imagine, let's say the office has around 100 computers. Now it will be a very tiresome process for the network administrator to assign each and every computer, each and every unique IP address to each and every computer is connected to that network. So to simplify this thing, this DHCP was made. Now that is the use of technology. Technology is there for us to make our work very easy. So that's why this DHCP was made, so as to simplify or rather automate this process. Alright. So that is the function of DHCP. And next time whenever you connect to a certain Wi-Fi network, And if you see this message obtaining IP address, you now know why it comes up. So let's move on to hubs. A hub is a non-intelligent device in a network that acts as a point where different devices in a network are connected. Now basically now most of you must have seen a hub, or if you haven't seen, basically it is a box like device, and you will see some Ethernet ports over there, in which you connect the Ethernet port over there, and you connect the other end of the Ethernet port through to a device, like for example a PC or something. Now that hub acts as a point into which all devices in a network are connected, and whenever you go to a shop to purchase a hub, you will have to pay the price of that hub in accordance with the number of ports that the hub has. All right. Now you are probably wondering about the term non-intelligent. Now I'll tell you why it's a non-intelligent device. So here we have a basic pictorial demonstration of how a hub works, and don't judge me on my presentation skills over here. I am very weak in it. But let's say this is a hub. You can see over here, this is a hub, this is a router, and this is the rest of the internet. All right. Now in order for this, let's say this PC3 over here, in order for this PC3 to access the internet, this PC3 will be connected to this hub, and this hub will be connected to this router, and the router will be connected to the rest of the internet. Now as I said, a non-intelligent device. So why a non-intelligent device? Let's have a discussion about that. Whenever, let's say, this PC1 over here wants to send a data packet to this PC3 over here, what happens is, let's say this device PC1 will first send the data packet to the hub, or rather the broadcast to the hub, and what will happen is that this hub will send that broadcast, or will send that data packet to all the devices. Now let's say you are operating this PC1 and your friend is operating this PC3, and you want to send a confidential file to him, and you don't want the person who is operating this PC2 to come to know or get access to that file. Now if you are using a hub in your network, what will happen is that that file which you wanted to send to PC3 will also be sent to PC2, and I think you don't want such a thing to happen. All right. So that's how a hub works. So up next we have switches. The working of a switch is somewhat similar to that of a hub, the difference being a switch is an intelligent device unlike a hub. As I said, a hub and a switch might seem similar if you look at it physically in front of your eyes. So let's have a look at how it works. So here I have another pictorial demonstration which is somewhat similar to that of the working of hub. So here, let's say once again you are operating this PC1 and your friend is operating this PC3. Let's say you want to send a confidential file to PC3 or your friend who is operating this PC3. So what will happen is that first up you will that file will reach the switch, and that switch will basically see as to which IP address is that file destined to. For example, your device has a IP address of 192.168.1.1, and this one has a IP address of 192.168.1.2, and this one has a IP address of 192.168.1. Let's make this one 2 and let's make this one 3. It will, let me scribble all this. Let's say this one has IP address of 192.168.1.3 and this one has 192.168.1.2. I'm not writing that 192.168 part in case of PC2 and PC3 so as to not make it gibberish. So let's say you are operating this device and your friend is sitting and operating this PC3. Just take a scenario of a cafe, for example, internet cafe, and you are sending a PDF file which has, say, a list of passwords, for example, and you want only your friend who is operating PC3 to have access to that file or to see that file. So what will happen is basically you will send the file will first reach the switch, which is the point where all the devices are connected in a certain network, and that switch will first analyze as to which IP address the file is destined to. So what will happen is the switch will send out a message to all the devices except the device from which the request came. The switch will send out a request to all the devices. It's like, you know, doing a attendance call in a classroom, that who has this IP address. So once that PC3 will receive that request, or will receive that request, so the PC3 will answer, yes, I have that certain IP address you are looking for. So at that time what will happen, the switch will send that file which you had sent, and that PDF file which you had sent will reach PC3, and PC2 will not have access by any means to that PDF file. So this is rather a safe process compared to a hub. And nowadays you won't see any hub which is being used in office networks or something, and I'm pretty sure you won't see switches as well, because I'll tell you why you won't see any switches. And I'm assuming you have a question in your mind that if I have a router in my house, I don't have a switch, then what is this switch doing over here? That question's answer will be answered right now. So right now we have hubs. This is the last point of our discussion. So excuse me, my mindset is not working properly. Sorry. So right now we have routers. So a router is a device which acts as a point or from where routing of traffic takes place. For example, you have a router in your house, you have a PC connected to it, and you opened your browser and typed in google.com, and that google.com request will first reach the router, and it will be sent out to the entire internet rather. That router acts as a point which helps in routing of internet traffic. Now, as I said, you might have a question in your mind that I have a router in my house, I connect my computer to it, or I connect my laptop to it using an Ethernet cable, or maybe I have a Wi-Fi router in my house, I connect my devices, but I don't have switches, right? I don't have a switch in my house, and I don't see any switches in most of the office networks as well. Then why is it? Why do we have switch as one part of the discussion? This is because most modern day routers have functionalities of working as a switch modem router combo. I am specifically using this term. This is because the router that you will be using, if it is a very modern router, then that router will have functionality of working as a switch, as well as a modem, as well as a router. So 3 functionalities into one device. This will make it even simpler, and it will help you maintain only one device in your house. Alright, so that's all about it in today's discussion about hubs, DHCP, switches and routers. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. If you enjoyed it, then please like the video and share the video. And if you found value from this video, then you can subscribe to this channel. And this is all for today, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.